guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we are continuing the Red Zone No Item Challenge today. Today we are using the Goku slash Gohan exchange unit team to battle the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone. Now, quite honestly, this is pretty tough. This Goku and Gohan unit can be one of the best units in the game, basically in two circumstances. One is very long fights, and the other would be something like Super Battle Road. The Super Saiyan Goku in a Super Battle Road situation with the 50% chance to dodge and 50% chance to stun, that is perfect for dominating Super Battle Road stages. But most of the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone is exactly what Goku and Gohan is not good for, and it's sort of shortish. It's more like in between, right? Not really short, but not long either. Level fights in here. So the problem is that besides this first fight, Full Power Frieza took me one try. Typically, this fight is very tough for a lot of these teams, but this is exactly what the Goku and Gohan team is designed for. It's these long fights. So the Frieza fight, this is an effortless, very easy win, right? Because we're easily able to get our 3 super attacks with Goku. And then remember, Gohan needs to take 4 hits, and then he becomes a defensive god. And then he needs to take another 2 hits after that to ensure guard for the rest of the fight. But it's just 3 super attacks with Goku. By the time you do that, in many of the really tough fights in here, Gohan gets cooked. Once he gets those 4 hits, he's great against all these bosses. But it's like those first 4 hits, they do a lot of damage. It's tough. This Wicked Bloodline Red Zone is not the type of fights that this Goku and Gohan unit were designed for, right? So this opening fight, Full Power Frieza, is a very long fight, by far and away the longest fight in the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone. This just really wasn't that tough, right? Because it's like, we have Carnival Goku who's stacking up, we have LR Namek Goku who stacks up and does guaranteed crits the whole fight, and of course he has type advantage at the very end against Full Power Frieza. The Goku and Gohan unit, we have ample time for them to be able to get the 3 super attacks in, and then the 4 hits in, so that Gohan is guarding and ready to dominate by the time we reach the end. One other added wrinkle that the Goku and Gohan unit can do that's incredible in this fight. Actually, no. I was gonna say Gohan could counter AGL Frieza's super attack, which stacks his attack and makes Full Power Frieza stronger. But I don't think he actually can. That's not correct. He can't. Gohan is not able to counter that Frieza. I was having, through a lot of these runs specifically, I was having a lot of cord issues for sure in this Wicked Bloodline sort of like runs, right? A lot of the other characters we're using are very, very sort of like obvious, right? We have characters like Tech Ultimate Gohan, who of course stacks up and can become really good. LR Tech Gogeta can be very useful in some of these fights, right, to give us the Scouter in the end portions of the fight. Gogeta himself is really rather weak at this point, in the game's life cycle, these type of bosses that we're dealing with. But at the very least, he gives us the Scouter, which does make him worth the run, right? I found that I really continue to despise Tech Gogeta's. This unit would be so good if he had Vegito's transformation condition instead. It would be insane how good Tech Gogeta would be, because you would get the heal, you would be able to have a nice comeback in the fight, and you'd get the Scouter, rather than it's kind of like everything is going perfectly and then you can get the Scouter and continue to make things go well, right? The unit would just be far and away better if we're able to sort of have him get the Scouter and then heal us up, because the healing that Tech Gogeta does, for the most part, I would say it doesn't even really do much for us, right? Typically, in order to transform into Tech Gogeta, we're already in a pretty good position. Again, remember, once we exchange into Gohan, he does need to take 4 hits to build up his full defense, and then he needs to take a total of 6 hits to have guaranteed guard throughout the rest of the fight. In some of these later fights, this does become kind of difficult to get done, and it's like oftentimes in a lot of these runs I might think about even staying as Super Saiyan Goku, but the problem with the character is that Goku he drops from a high chance to dodge to a 30% chance to dodge after a number of turns as well. So the character just very heavily limited, right? It's like Gohan is so powerful, but it can be very tricky to properly utilize him in this stage. So, all right, here's the Frieza one. Again, this first fight, pretty easy. It's very simple for us to be able to build up all of our characters so that full power Frieza can't just obliterate us, right? We're able to have the Scouter and stuff like that, so we can make this work. Alright guys, now we're moving on to the final form cooler fight This fight is just really very, very difficult. Super tough fight right here. This one is very tricky. Final Form Cooler just hits so hard. I mean, I say Final Form Cooler, but both this version of Cooler and Final Form Cooler, they just hit so hard that it is very tricky sort of making it through them. Now, I actually should point out, we got really lucky right away in that Cooler, when he super attacks you in base, I don't know what I think it's a 30% chance he has to stun. He can stun you, which, depending upon, if he stuns Tech God Goku, who cares? But if he stunned Carnival Goku before Carnival Goku could attack, that would take away a stack for us, which is going to be so important. Because remember, what I've noticed is that characters that guard, right, so like Tech Ultimate Gohan or Carnival Goku, they are tech characters that guard. But they will take extra damage against Int Final Form Cooler, even though they're guarding. So it's like, that's why I'm not bringing Tech Ultimate Gohan to this fight. I feel like, a character like Physical Super Saiyan Bardock probably is a much better run in this fight than Tech Gohan. We are rocking that Super Saiyan Bardock. He's a very, very good unit. Remember that the way Physical Super Saiyan Bardock works, he needs to be hit one time, he gets guard, then he gets hit one more time, and he gets 30% defense. Now, if his guard activates immediately, i.e. he gets attacked by an Int unit, then Bardock only needs to get hit once, and he'll have his full buff up. And that's the case in this fight, right? Once we get to the Int portion, Super Saiyan Bardock only has to get hit once, and then he has his full defensive buff up, as well as supporting the rotation, right? Physical Super Saiyan Bardock is a great character. We're rocking UI Goku. UI Goku is like, again, this is the thing. UI Goku is just going to age very gracefully, because all these great defensive characters, if you're talking about damage reduction, guard, raw defense, most characters just really can't take it. UI Goku, the point is for him not to get hit. So, you can run UI Goku up and down the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone. He is so big in taking down these fights, right? If you're running Final Form Cooler's team, right, you're just like a buzzsaw tearing through everything, whatever. But once you start, jumping to the other teams, you see the huge gap in power between a character like Final Form Cooler, Carnival Goku, right, LR Gold, like these big top tier characters, Vegeta and Trunks right now, and then, it's a big drop off to like Goku and Gohan, right? It just, the way it can be very tricky in these events against these really, really tough bosses. So again, Gohan, okay, we get a dodge. I've recently changed my Tech God Goku to full dodge for that reason. That would have done 200k damage, something like that, to Tech God Goku, right? So it's like, we need that health. That's why if a character's role is to defend, you give them full dodge. Because, God Goku taking 0 damage there as opposed to 200k or 300k is really big. Here, you see Gohan taking quite a bit of damage. That's, again, he needs to build up first, and this fight is so fast, you just really don't have the time to build him up. Thank God we have Kid Goku. I actually get pretty unlucky with Kid Goku for the most part, besides that dodge right there. Again, full dodge on these characters, man. It's like these fights are so tough, these bosses hit so hard, it really helps. But my Kid Goku, just a parade of additional normals by my Kid Goku. We've seen so many runs where Kid Goku's done triple crits up and down these fights and crushed the boss. We would have easily won faster if Goku... We got the additionals. We just didn't get the good RNG for him to actually super, right? So, like, remember, Kid Goku being full dodge in the potential system had no effect on him doing 2 normals after that super attack, right? It was just bad luck, unfortunately. But there we go. There is this fight. Again, very, very tough. Got to be able to use this Gohan, smart, Kid Goku smart, right? A couple of super attack dodges, and we're able to sort of make it through. Very, very tough fight overall, though. Alright guys, now we're moving on to the Mecha Frieza and King Cold fight. Not really too much to sort of discuss here, right? Remember that this is sort of the free pass fight in the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone. Frieza and King Cold don't really put up too much of a fight. We could get some bad luck, right? I actually did lose with this team to this fight. The Super Saiyan Goku right here, he just didn't get a dodge, and Mecha Frieza hit him for 500k, right? Because that's Super Saiyan Goku, right? His defensive ability is, of course, dodging, right? But for the most part, this fight is just very not that tough. We get to the second phase, King Cold and Mecha Frieza. They do the seal, King Cold will seal. So we just want to maintain our damage, aim all of it at King Cold, get rid of him, and then we don't have to worry about being sealed anymore. That's basically it, right? Remember that this opening phase is very, very easy. The Frieza soldiers can't really do damage. Only the first one, the AGL Frieza soldier, can even super attack, and he does no damage, even with his super attack. So this is a very easy, basic fight right here. This is not a tricky one whatsoever. Pretty much any 200% team could come in here and beat this in 1 or 2 tries, right? This is a very easy fight. Again, something like the baby fights, Super 17, right? Like, all those are just, like, way, way tougher than this fight here against Mecha Frieza and King Cold, right? And oftentimes I like to use, like, you know, powerful STR characters in here. You know, when you're going into these Red Zone fights, you want to build your team around type advantage against the big bosses, right? So, like, Int characters against Full Power Frieza. We want to use Tech characters against the AGL Metal Cooler. Here, I like bringing STR characters to help me do damage faster to King Cold, right? So, there we go. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll move on to the next fight. Alright guys, now we're moving on to the fight against Metal Cooler. Definitely a very tough fight here, the Metal Cooler fight. Metal Cooler obliterates the Goku Gohan unit. The one good news is that the Goku and Gohan unit, you know, remember, when we exchange into Gohan, here is where we actually could make use of Gohan's beam counter, here against this Metal Cooler boss. Like, we actually could, sort of be able to get that beam counter off right here against AGL Metal Cooler. Otherwise, Gohan is going to struggle immensely against Metal Cooler, until he gets those first couple of hits in. Again, the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone is not, like, really great for this Goku and Gohan unit. It's like, if we could take advantage of Goku's stun, Goku could be more impressive in here, but it really is very scary. Now, the good news, though, is that even though Metal Cooler is, you know, type advantage over the Goku and Gohan unit, this LR Goku and Gohan unit, they will do incredible damage, and they will be able to do the active skill. They could have a good turn and then just mostly wipe out the Metal Cooler boss. Now, of course, you know, we have a pretty shitty opening. The Cyclopean Guard here is a very tough opponent, right? Like, it's like, the way they set this fight up is very tough, too, because you don't want to bring STR characters into this fight against AGL Metal Cooler. It's just not smart. But that leaves you pretty defenseless against this guy if he decides to just chain super attack, right? So look at this. We haven't even made it to Metal Cooler, and here we are actually reviving with Carnival Goku. Carnival Goku, of course, so good. The trio he has should keep him relevant for quite a while of defensive stacking, guard, and the revive. Incredibly powerful. But I believe the way we make our major comeback, well, that's very good. All of those physical orbs right there is just huge, because that should allow us to actually get Tech Gogeta's active skill next turn. So we'll be able to transform and get the Scouter, right? Remember that physical Kid Goku, his defense can get very, very high. Things actually worked out well. We're able to get another super attack with Goku right here, so we potentially could swap into Gohan. And then at this point, we're in really a pretty good position. It is incredibly, highly difficult to make it to this point in this fight right here with this team and be in this good of a position, right? Where we have Tech Gogeta. This is probably... I was going to say, is this Tech Gogeta's best fight? I mean, Tech Gogeta's best Red Zone fight, I guess, would be Android 13. But, like, the Broly fight, Android 13, Tech Gogeta, right? Like, he can actually hang in there and take some hits from AGL Metal Cooler because he's got type advantage, right? And he'll have the damage reduction and stuff like that. But the Scouter really should allow us to work pretty well. Now, remember that this Goku and Gohan unit, taking normals is going to do a lot of damage to us, but Goku can dodge. So if Goku gives us a dodge here and there, we should be looking pretty good, because remember, Goku does actually build his stats up, too, as he dodges, right? He gets dodges, and his stats actually do increase, right? He builds up, its attack and defense, right? So, there we go. There is the Metal Cooler fight. Metal Cooler, I would say, certainly is very tough, but, you know, when we have some of these powerful characters, like okay, so Metal Cooler has basically this one health bar right here. Once we sort of get into it where we have all of these characters who are going to be sort of peppering him with these very powerful active skills, that is going to put us in a really, really, really good position, right? Because, like, the LR Goku and Gohan unit, Carnival Goku, right? We're going to be able to just put up a huge amount of extra damage on Metal Cooler to finish him off quickly. Like, it's a fight like this where you can really tell how good, like, a lot of these active skill attacks are to really help build up the extra damage. Because, like, I remember when I no-item this fight with the Ginyu Force team, I had incredible troubles keeping up with Metal Cooler's healing with the Ginyu team, right? It was very tough. But, like, you know, here we have a lot of these powerful active skill characters and stuff like that who will do huge amounts of damage and then should be able to cut this Metal Cooler boss up. So, there we go. There is Metal Cooler. Now let's just move on to the final fight, the Metal Cooler Core. Alright guys, now we're going up against the Metal Cooler Core. So, I mean, yeah, the Metal Cooler Core fight is pretty ridiculous. This is a fight that, honestly, with a lot of these teams, I mean, the entire game, right, is a game of RNG. That's what Dokkan is, right? Like, this is obviously why they do these, like, daily limits on these red zone stages. Again, I think that probably is an example of artificial difficulty. They're artificially extending the length of the game, right? Because these stages don't cost stamina and stuff like that. So people could just do them infinite times so you get the God Run and, you know, you easily win. But, I mean, with the Metal Cooler Core fight, a lot of times this fight and the Broly fight are the two red zone fights where a lot of the times it's like you don't just decide you're going to win. You need insane luck as well. Oftentimes, almost every single team in the game gets destroyed by AoE Broly if he supers right away, right? Like nearly every single build of every single team if AoE Broly just decides, like, he's just gonna, like, 2 turns in a row super in slot 1, you're probably dead. Like, most characters can't take that, right? The Metal Cooler Core, it's very similar. Dude, the Metal Cooler Core, if he decides the super attack 1, most teams can't take the amount of damage he puts out. It's not just his super attack, but keep in mind that the core will super you, and then his normals are like Cell Max plus level or something. It's crazy. Now, of course, a lot of these winning runs that have this easy Namek Goku, it's runs like this is exactly why I'm so high on this guy compared to a lot of others. Every Easy ATUR tier list I put up, people freak out that this Goku is so high, and I stand so far behind it. Like, there's these moments in fights like this against the core where it's like, you know, you need some good luck, right? You need him to transform, which can sometimes be annoying depending upon the fight, right? And then you need him to, you know, then start super attack stacking, you know, and then he does have to take a hit, you know, and then the guard is up, and then, like, he's really good. But then you could also potentially do his active skill as well, which I've found that this Namek Goku's active skill is just so very, very good. Because of the fact that he double orb, he's creating STR orbs and Rainbow Key Spheres. He's just setting you up for victory, right? Setting you up for success is what this easy Namek Goku does. Keep in mind that in the opening rounds of this fight against the Metal Cooler Army, right? Like, this is what can happen, right? Like, we can get toasted. This Metal Cooler Army, they hit really, really hard, right? Oh, nice, UI Goku, double-digit tanking right there, beautiful. But they hit so goddamn hard that it just puts you in a position, because the army, they hit very hard, and then their attack debuffing can just put you in very, very tough positions, right? Now, this is... I'm actually surprised. It's been a little while since I've recorded this, right? Because I have a lot of these runs for the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone, like, recorded throughout various points of, like, the last couple of months. This, like, does not look like a winning run. Okay, and all of a sudden now I can instantly see exactly how this was a winning run. Is, again, when the core supers the first attack, all of his normal attacks the rest of the turn, he just hits so hard. Okay, so a turn where he doesn't super for us is absolutely huge. So, okay, there's a couple of different things we could do here. So, here's us using Namek Goku's active skill. Utilizing his active skill, this will allow us to double orb change, which oftentimes can sort of set us up for sort of a better position. It does work, right? No, we would not have been able to survive in slot 1 against this guy. We wouldn't have been able to. We would not have been able to survive in slot 1 against this turn against the Metal Cooler Core. So Goku, you know, using his active skill right here, we were able to clear the turn, and then we're able to get into a much better position, right, where we can actually sort of make some things happen, right? Now we could use Carnival Goku's active skill, which, remember, attack breaks the Metal Cooler Core. I have not seen the issue recently where I've done an attack break and it hasn't worked, where it's like it is working, but technically it's breaking, like, the boss doing nothing. I haven't seen that lately. I'm not sure if they fixed it. By the way, Namek Goku guarding right there, like, his guard, he procced it, right? No matter what, he'll proc it after the first hit, but the fact that he had it on the first hit means his guard was procced right there. He gets an attack in, Carnival Goku gets another stack in, we're able to build up, you know, get ourselves in a little bit better position. Then here's where Carnival Goku, of course, can take control with the revive. Just really, really crazy stuff. Carnival Goku, so good. Now, we did notice on this turn, too, the Goku and Gohan unit was sealed. It is very, very frustrating. Occasionally, the core just decides it's over, and he'll just seal, you know, characters like LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or the LR Gods or something like that. He seals them, and then typically it's just, well, tough titties, that's GG, right? Like, that's it. That's about all we could do there. But we're able to sort of make it through, right? We're able to, you know, get enough orbs with a lot of these characters, make things sort of go correctly most of the time, right? UI Goku, of course, is very helpful here with his dodges. Because that's the thing, it's actually insane. In many of these runs, I'm actually praying that the core will super slot 3, and then like UI Goku or the Goku/Gohan unit will dodge it. Like that's literally what we need to have happen. Most of these turns, has the core even supered? What is this run actually? Like, is he even supered once? This feels like he's like not supering at all. Like, and it's not surprising because the damage he does on his normals is just so crazy after he supers. But there we go. There is the Goku and Gohan team clearing the Wicked Bloodline red zone. At this point, we have most of the red zones done with most of the 200% teams. I actually have to do the Gammas. Like, they released, 4 200% leaders in October, which pushed me a little bit further behind. So let me know what you guys think about the Goku and Gohan team, again, taking down the Wicked Bloodline red zone here. Watch this Metal Cooler core run. This is God RNG. Like, it's crazy. Every turn, I feel like the RNG was just so good for us. So let me know what you guys think about this ridiculous fight and this ridiculous red zone. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.